So taking a look at this next problem, everybody, first thing we're always going to do to make sure that we feel good about word problems is read the question sentence first. So right here it says, how far apart are they after 2.5 hours? So everyone, the first thing we want to understand or really ask ourselves is, what does this mean? How do we interpret that? How far apart are they after 2.5 hours? Everyone, if we take that question sentence, again, how far apart are they after 2.5 hours? And then we look at the answer choices, miles, 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 miles. Everyone, what's the D word that should immediately come to mind in terms of what we're trying to describe here? What are we trying to calculate? The distance. How far apart? That definitely rings distance, especially when you back it up with your answer choices. So because of that, everybody, I think it's very clear that at the end of the day, regardless of how we get there, we want to get the distance. Let's figure out how we're going to get there now. Because now that we know what we want, let's understand what we have inside of this context here. Again, bit by bit, little by little. So what I see here is it says we have two hikers and they start from the same point at the same time and travel in opposite directions. Okay. Hiker A travels this fast, hiker B travels this fast. All right, sounds good. So with that said, everybody, it's very easy to get distracted by the numbers. 55, 30, 2.5, very, very easy. What is it that we actually want to highlight here, though? What are the actual words that we want to pay attention to? Yeah, shout out James right here. Look at what we have. It says the two hikers start at the same time from the same point, but more importantly, they travel in opposite directions. That's the biggest key there. Because if you kind of lay it out in your head, everyone, what are we supposed to do with those individual distances when we think about one hiker going this way and another hiker going that way? What are we going to do to get that total distance? Yeah, we would add those up. And because we can add up the distances in this case, because they're moving at the same time, we can actually go ahead and just add those rates together too. That would save us a ton of time, but I'll show you both ways to make things nice and easy. So number one, let's calculate each of the distances. I'll do distance A, and then I'll do distance B. So for distance A, I'll just go ahead and grab that 55 miles per hour, and I'll multiply it by 2.5. For the other one, it'll be 30 miles an hour, and that'll be over the same time period. That'll be 2.5 hours. And so what I'll do is I'll calculate those distances individually, add them together, and we're good. But then I'm going to show you how we can do this in a much faster way. Because if you might notice over here, let's calculate A. If you might notice that, hey, we're going to be dealing with decimals twice. And that's not always fun, right? So let me just show you. 5 times 5, 25. Let's carry that 2. 5 times 5, 25 again. Carry the 2 is 27. We'll continue on the next line. Then we have 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1 is 11. So I'll bring this over slightly to make it easier to see. And we'll add everything up. 5, 7, 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we have the 1 right there. Everyone, how many decimals are we bringing back? Yeah, we're just bringing back 1 here. So we'll bring back that 1 decimal place. Boom. And so that'll give us 137.5 miles. So watch us do the same thing again for B. Boom. We have 30 multiplied by 2.5. 0 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Then we'll move on to the next line. And then we have 0 times 2. 3 times 2. Add it all up. And we have 750. But how many decimal places are we bringing back? Again, we're just bringing back 1. Right there, right there. So now here we have 75 miles for hiker B. And everyone, we said at the end, we would do what? Add them together. So we'll take the 137.5 along with the 75, lining it up, add it all together, And we'll have the 0.5 there at the end. 7 plus 5 is 12. 3 plus 7 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. And then we have that 2 right there. So from here, everybody, what is the total mileage? How far apart are they? We have 212.5, which is answer choice D. And if we wanted to get this done again in a different way, we could have just added those rates together. Everybody help me out. Let's make this easy. What is 55 plus 30? What's that going to be? Yeah, that'll just be 85. Take a look at this. We can actually get this done with the combined rate. So we'll just do distance equals the actual combined rate times time, which will be 85 times 2.5. And here we go. Look at how much faster this will be. 5 times 5, that'll be 25. 8 times 5 is 40. Add that 2 is 42. Bring on a 0 right there. And then we'll have 5 times 2 is 10. And then from there, we have 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1, 17. Add this back up. 5, 2, 11, carry the 1, and then 2. How many decimal places are we bringing back? Yeah, just 1. And there we go, everybody. Boom, 212.5. And that can be done relatively quickly. So there we go, everybody. Let's get ready for that next one.